I believe that school is more than just equipping students with knowledge. It's about giving them the tools they will need in an attempt to prepare them for life after school. If this is the framework for why students need to be in school, it is vital that we care about their mental and psychosocial health as much as we care about their knowledge attainment. Many students don't have families that can afford or know about the benefits of play and other types of trauma therapy, and I think that issue would be resolved if we started offering play therapy in schools. One fact that I think is a big reason why I believe play therapy should be offered in school is that it's designed for the age range between 3 and 12 years old. Many students go to school until 3:30, and then they have an after-school activity, or they go to daycare, or they wait until their parents get off work at 5. Parents cannot get their students in that 3:30 to 5 range. They don't have transportation, they can't get off work, they can't get them to go to therapy sessions. And during school, they don't want their kids to miss school. Most therapy places, counseling places close at 5. So this therapy that is designed for students who have received trauma and who are this exact critical age, they're not able to receive it. And I think that problem would be eliminated if we started offering it while they were in school. According to a study by the Kaiser Foundation, in 2016, only 10.2% of children in the United States between the ages of 3 and 17 received treatment or counseling from a mental health professional. Only 10.2% of students, that's about 1 in 10 students, received counseling in 2016. In 2013, the National Survey of Children's Health recorded that 47.9% of school-aged children had experienced one or more types of childhood trauma. In this survey, they counted trauma as anything from living in poverty to divorce to abuse to the death of a parent, which is a lot of things that can traumatize a student, that can cause trauma to a child's life. And 47.9, that's almost 1 in 2 students experience some kind of this. So 1 in 2 students are experiencing some kind of trauma, but only 1 in 10 students is getting help. And I think that statistic speaks for itself. Play therapy would not only serve as a current intervention for the students that are going through this trauma right now, but it would also be a preventive measure for other mental illnesses and problems that will rise up and that will occur if these traumas aren't treated and dealt with properly at this critical age. It is a preventive measure for more diagnosable disorders that may develop later if left unchecked. There are a lot of opposing views that may come into play when I mention bringing play therapy to schools. Number 1 is that school is for education only. And I would argue, why would you say that school is for education only? If you say that you want it because you want children to get in and get as much knowledge as they can so they can get out and benefit society, don't we want to benefit children as much as we can in school in all their capacities, in their knowledge capacity, but also their mental and psychosocial health capacity, so that when they get out of school, they will be even more beneficial to society? What use is education if a child has a disability that prevents them from using it to their full capacity? These children, they're going to be given opportunities by gaining the education that school gives them, but if they struggle with mental health disorders, they may not be able to put that potential into its full effect. And it can be expensive. That is the other opposing view that I feel like a lot of people may have. And I agree that it can be expensive. I would argue that we would want teachers to stay being teachers. I think they're great, and I think they're great at their job, but we would want a mental health professional to come in and take this time in the schools to provide play therapy to the children who need it. So in that case, yes, it can be expensive, which can take a toll on the economy, but it will also help the economy because it's going to create jobs. There will be a lot more jobs open for these mental health professionals. And also, Dr. Bethel, who's a professor of public health at Johns Hopkins, makes a great point. She says that if we left therapy go unchecked and more disorders in these children develop, we will see a rise of mental health care issues and people needing mental health care in the future, which is something that we're already starting to see. And due to that demand getting higher, we will also see a higher price on mental health care. So the cost will be equal. It will just fall on the students who are experiencing trauma now instead of on the school or the taxpayers or whoever that financial burden would fall on if we decided to teach play therapy in schools. My call to action is based in my opinion that play therapy given by a mental health professional should be introduced into schools. My call to action would be that the United States have each individual state change their curriculum to include not just the common subjects like math and science, but include play therapy standards into their curriculum. In closing, I would like to restate that the evidence is overwhelming when portraying the need for children to be receiving mental health aid, and I believe that school is the best place for that to start.